Hello guys, welcome to the next part of this Doctor Who DVD collection, and today we're going to go through the 70s with Jon Pertwee and Tom Baker. Now this video will probably be a lot longer than last video, because obviously I've got a lot more in the 70s era. I haven't got all of them, because there's quite a lot of stories, no missing episodes, no curtail seasons or whatever you. But I think the 70s era is probably my favourite, because it's got two brilliant doctors. They're just fantastic, and I'll just quickly show you all the DVDs that we're going to have to go through in this video. So I'll just turn the laptop camera around. Okay, so here are the DVDs. So you got Spear from Space all the way down to Logopolis. So yeah, that is practically all the DVDs that we have to go through in this video. So it's either going to be Hell or Good Hell. Oh, sorry, my hair's getting all over the place. So let's kick off properly with the first Jon Pertwee story, which is brilliant and has actually been re-released on Blu-ray, which I'm not sure whether to get. I'm sure it'd be brilliant, but I'm not sure whether to get it. But anyway, so here is the brilliant Spearhead from Space. Just a all-time brilliant story. I love it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. The Autons are actually are at their best here, with lots of good action scenes from UNIT, the United Nations Intelligence Task Force. But in this DVD, hold on a second. There we go. In this DVD, I found something that I owned for years and years and years, and I thought I'd put it in this case because it's part one of this story. And if I just get it open, hold on a second. It's this. It's the thing that came with the Sun. And they were giving out like part ones, they're giving out classic episodes, just like the singular episode, not the whole story. Because like as you can see, it's got the old Spearhead from Space original release there. Gives it this DVD is it was quite old when it came out. And I'll just show you the disc. That's the disc. It's got the Sun on it. There it is. Yeah, because it came exclusively with the Sun. I've only got about 4. Well, I've got 5, but I have actually lost. Well, I wouldn't say I've lost it. It's probably somewhere around the house. I've also got the Day of Armageddon, which is the first episode of Daleks Master Plan. I've also got the Rose episode, and I've also got episode 1 of the Faceless Ones in this kind of form. I didn't really collect the others because they were practically a lot of the new series ones. I think it reached up to Earthshock. I'm not sure what ones were after that. But yeah, these are quite good, really. It's a shame I didn't get the original release because I actually did really enjoy the episode 1. Well, this episode, I thought it was really brilliant. And the whole story itself is just fantastic. I was really looking forward to watching the entire story on DVD when I got the Mannequin Mania set for my birthday, as well as countless others. So yeah, just go and buy the Mannequin Mania set. You can probably see it. Let's see. It's right next to the Dreadful Wool box set over there. You might be able to just make that out. But yeah, this is a fantastic story, and just go and watch it. It's fantastic. Okay, moving on. We've got the first appearance of the Silurians. It is Doctor Who and the Silurians. This is a good story. Apparently there is rumoured to have been a special edition re-release for this. I probably continue them doing it, but I'm not sure what special features they could add to this. I suppose they could do one of possibly the making of the restoration of the Silurians, like Doctor in the Silurians. Maybe a Doctor Forever, you know, what do you call it, documentary. I don't really know what they could add to the special edition of this. It's a pretty fine release, really. I mean, the picture quality on it isn't really that good, because they couldn't really find the necessary equipment to restore it properly, so it's not really too much scratch. I doubt the VHS was even as good as well. But as for the story, it's quite good. It's a bit long. It's 7 parts, because a lot of the stories in the first, season 7, which is the first season of Jon Pertwee's era, were quite. They're all 7 parts except from Spearhead from Space, because that's a 4-part. But it's a good story. It's an okay story. It's not. I know a lot of people like this story, but I don't really like it as much as a lot of people do. I just find it way too long. The episodes are split onto discs, which I don't like at all. I know the War Games was, but I don't know why they just put on one disc. I mean, it's understandable for the War Games, but this is it's a good story. Let's just say that. And that's practically the only stories I've got from season 7. I hope to get Inferno or Ambassadors of Death sometime soon. I'm not sure when I'll get those. But moving on from season 8, we've got Terror of the Autons. Again written by Robert Holmes, the same person who wrote Spearhead from Space. And this is also part of the Mannequin Mania set. It's just a great story, this one. I love it. I think I prefer it to Spearhead, although a lot of people do prefer Spearhead to Terror of the Autons. The Autons don't really feature as much as they did in Spearhead from Space, but when they are in it, they are very, very good. And next we've got a very good story, second appearance of the Master, I believe, and it's the Sea Devils. Again, a very good story. This was one of the first few I got. As part of the Beneath the Surface set. As you can see, let's have a look. It's right at the end there. Hold on a second. It's right at the end, next to the Bread for War box set. I've reviewed all of my classic box sets. Whether or not you like the reviews, that's up to you, really. I think they're quite crap. But anyway, yeah, the Sea Devils is a great story. Quite a few action scenes in this. I love the concept of the Sea Devils. I think they're really good monsters. They return in Warriors of the Deep, which I'll get. Well, we'll see that in a later video. But yeah, the Sea Devils is a great story. 6 parts long, and it's just a really good, enjoyable adventure. Okay, moving on after that, we've got one of my favourite Jon Pertwee stories, and it's The Curse of Paladin. This is a good story as well. I like the Paladin stories. I think they're really enjoyable. But this one in particular, I think, is probably my favourite out of the Paladin Tales set, because it's just. I mean, I do like Monster of Paladin, but I just prefer Curse of Paladin. It's so fantastic. I may re-review all of the 2012 reviews that I did, because I don't think I gave you some of the special features on some of the DVDs, which I thought was a bit naff, and I didn't particularly like the reviews. But if you want me, I mean, can you? I know. Personally, I do not think those reviews were any good, so I'm going to re-review them all to try and improve them. I might even do it in this sort of format. But just comment down below. Tell me what if you think I should re-review them, because I personally think I should. I mean, it'll be your chance to request some of those re-reviews. But yeah, moving on. So moving on from that, this is the goes up on the Ice Warriors are good in it. It's my second favourite Ice Warrior story. My first favourite Ice Warrior story is the Seeds of Death. I like the Ice Warriors. I think they're good monsters. Obviously, they appeared in Series 7 Part 2 with the episode Cold War, which was pretty good. But yeah, this is a great story, and you should get the Paladin Tales box set. And after that, we've got Day of the Daleks. Not my favourite Dalek story. This the special edition. It has new Dalek voices, new special effects, new included scenes. The new included scenes are they're alright. The battle scene is very good though, because it wasn't very good on the original, and it didn't last for very long. And there were hardly any sort of unit soldiers or Daleks or Ogrons or whatever. But it's an alright story. I can see why somebody might want to pick this up because of the special edition version. Because it's got the special edition on the second disc, as you can see right there. It's got some good special features though, which I like, because they are what appeal you to the DVD. But yeah, it's an okay story. Not my favourites, but it's because the Jon Pertwee Dalek stories now are quite underrated. They're not very well liked by some people, and during the time that they were all broadcasted in the 70s, they weren't very well liked because they wanted the Daleks to return for ages, and this is where they came back. So I mean, I like the title of the story, Day of the Daleks, but it's an okay. It's so-so. Okay, after that one, you've got the Three Doctors. This, I believe, is extremely overrated. It's a good story, but it's not really one of my favourites. I know it's a lot of people's favourites. Well, favourite multi-Doctor stories. I'd say this is it's alright. It's not great, but it's not bad by any means at all. It's nowhere near as bad as, let's say, the Web Planet. That was just shit. But this is okay. The Visitations 3 box set is very good. This is probably my least favourite thing about it, but it's an okay story. The gel guards are just rubbish monsters, really. I mean, they look just really weird. So it's 14 minutes, and I've only gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 DVDs out of that lot. So I better stop rambling and getting on with the video. Carnival of Monsters. I wasn't not sure what to expect from the story. It's actually quite good. It's written by Robert Holmes. As you can see on the camera, you might not be able to make it out because obviously I'm using the crappy. But the reason why I'm using this one this time is because it's just a doddle to upload, and it would only take about a few seconds to upload, and it's just simple really, because you just click upload and it will upload straight away, which is good. So yeah, the Carnival of Monsters is an okay story. not my favourite, but it's still, I don't like the dragons all that much really, but it's quite a clever story. That's why, well, Rob Holmes is a very clever writer, and it's quite a clever, innovative story this, but yeah, it's alright. Not my favourite. And moving on, we've got very good story, quite overshadowed though, and it builds on to the next story after this. It's Frontier in Space. I think I prefer Planet of the Daleks because this is overshadowed by Planet of the Daleks because, I mean, this is still a good story. There's a surprise enemy at the end. Probably won't ruin it who it is, but yes, this is a good story. Very good story, and I believe what are they called, Draconians, which are sort of these aliens on the front cover there. I believe they are Jon Pertwee's favourite monster. Well, sort of alien, or I don't think he really liked the Daleks all that much, but I know he liked these, the Draconians. I think they're quite good monsters, but yeah, it's a good story. The Dalek War box set is very good. You should get that. I think I got that for one. I think I bought that with my birthday money a few years ago. It's a great box set, and you should really buy it. And now this is the story. That's actually one of my favourite Dalek stories. This I've done a video about that, but it's Planet of the Daleks. An all-time brilliant story. It's just so good. Written by Terry Nation, who is quite a big Dalek writer, because he wrote Dalek Invasion of Earth. I think he wrote The Chase as well. I'm not quite sure what else he wrote. I can't quite remember, but he wrote a lot of Dalek stories, and this is a very good Dalek story. It's just amazing. The Supreme Dalek looks very good in it as well. He's just about there. He's just a cool Dalek, really. So yeah, just go and buy the Dalek War box set. It's very good, fantastic even. Now we have season 11 with the Time Warrior. Probably the best Zatara story. I mean, I know some of you. I know I quite like the Two Doctors story, but this beats it by just a small portion because it's just a great historical story. The Sontaran is very good in it. He looks like a proper warrior. I mean, all the classic Sontarans do, except for the new series ones, because I don't really like those, because they look too short. Their costume design doesn't look very good, whereas these look brilliant. But yeah, this is a very good story, and you should watch it. I got the Bread for All box set, but as my first box set. I'm not sure if I got that before Genesis of the Daleks. I know Genesis of the Daleks was my first classic DVD, but Bread for Warm was my first box set. You probably buy it off Amazon for about 11 quid, depending how much it is now. I'm not quite sure because it wasn't available for a brief period of time, but I'm sure it's still available, so you might want to buy it. I've had it for ages. But yeah, this is a great story, and just go and buy it. Okay, moving on, we've got a story which I haven't actually watched, even though I said I watched it in my review, hence the reason why I might re-review them. One I haven't actually watched at all, Invasion of the Dinosaurs, so I can't really give my thoughts on it, because I haven't watched it. Apparently it's very good, but it seems a bit crap. But tell me what you think, guys. Just tell me if you think the story's any good, if you've seen it. Then if you guys think it's good, then I'll probably watch it later today or whenever. And next up, we've got another good story. Is the Death to the Daleks. I hate saying the story, well, I hate saying that title, it's just Death to the Daleks. It just gets on my nerves. But as for the story itself, it's brilliant. I love the Dalek design in this. Look how cool it looks. I think the DVD cover was based off the Target novelization cover. They did a good job of it. I love the cover as well. I love Jon Pertwee's outfit. Well, season 11 outfit. I think it looks really good. I mean, Jon Pertwee is my favourite Doctor. I'm sure some of you know that. I mean, I know my profile picture does say has a picture of Sylvester McCoy on it, but I just love that picture. But this Jon Pertwee is my favourite Doctor of all time, and he's got brilliant stories, and this is a pretty good story. That's 4 parts, which is good as well. And the final, actually the penultimate story that I've got of Jon Pertwee is the Monster of Paladin. It's a good story. This one's 6 parts, because it does drag a bit, but it's an okay story. I quite like it. But I mean, the other stories are good in it. They're not in it as much, I don't think, if I can remember that. But yeah, it's an okay story. I really recommend you buy the Paladin Tales set. Yeah, but this is just a very good Jon Pertwee story, and because a lot of the Paladin tales, well, the 2 Paladin stories are quite political. But if you like the political stories, then I'm sure that'll be the story for you. If I just tidy this up, so it doesn't look a mess, because we've got an estate agent coming round today at 3 o'clock, and I don't really want to leave any mess, because I had to tidy my room last night, and I've just finished vacuuming it this morning, but still, we'll get around that. And I don't actually have the proper DVD, I've just got the disc, but it's of Planet of the Spiders. This is a good, it's a very good story. I love the spiders in this, but because originally I didn't like them as much, but now I really like them. I think they're really good. They're quite creepy. It's quite a dark story at heart, in some places, and the regeneration scene is pretty rubbish. It's not my favourite regeneration scene, as I put it bluntly. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's okay. It's not the best, but yeah, Planet of the Spiders is a brilliant story. I'm not sure if I'll get the actual DVD, but who knows, I might do. And moving on to Tom Baker, who's probably the most iconic Doctor, although Matt Smith is becoming quite iconic out of all the Doctors, but it's Tom Baker. With the Sontaran Experiment. Very good story, I love it. It's 2 parts, so I think some people find this story a filler, like a filler story, a bit like The Edge of Destruction. Some people think that's a bit of a filler. I kind of agree with it about this being a filler, but no, this is a good story. I like it. I think it's a great. The Sontaran looks brilliant in this. But he's got his helmet on there, but you can just see on here. There he is, Sontaran Style, I think his name is. I love the action figure for Style. I think it looks amazing. But this is a very good story. I like the Sontaran spaceship, as you can see on the cover there. And Harry Sullivan is brilliant. Sarah Jane is brilliant. It's just a good story. And next up, we've got a story which has been voted one of the best stories of all time. It's Genesis of the Daleks. Very good story, this one. Although I think it could have been a 4 part, because it does get a bit boring in a few places. The beginning, well, the first episode is amazing. It's brilliant. This one was written by Terry Nation. This is the first classic DVD I ever got. It's a great starter, so if you want to start on classic DVDs, then this might be a good story to start off with, because it's really right. The special features are just brilliant. You've got Dalek Tapes, which is a very good documentary, looks at the history of the Daleks in the classic series. You've got Genesis of the Classic, which reflects on Genesis of the Daleks as a story. It's just a brilliant DVD. You should really buy it. 2-disc set, and it's just fantastic. Brilliant story, brilliant special features, and just a pleasure to watch. Next up, we've got the Android Invasion. This is a good story as well. Features the return of Harry Sullivan. Well, the last appearance really of Harry Sullivan, as played by Ian Marter. This is a good story as well. I really like this. I think it's 4 parts. I don't like a singular review of it. So if you want to hear my thoughts on that, go and watch the review. It's not the Unit Files review. It's of it's just called the Android Invasion review. So if you just scroll down my channel, you'll probably be able to find it. Next up, we've got Robots of Death. I did have part 1 of this story, and like I said, it's probably wandering around the house somewhere. But this is an amazing story as well. Who's it? Chris Boucher wrote the story brilliantly. I love the Philip Hinchcliffe era. I think it's really good. There's a lot of good stories in it. But if you want to buy the story, go and buy it. Buy the River Station 3 set. Watch the story. It's just a wonderful Tom Baker story. I love the robots in this. They look absolutely brilliant. They look fantastic with their red eyes and all that. Bloody antivirus pop-ups get on my nerves. But yeah, this is a very good story, and I probably shouldn't say much more about it because it's just so good. Okay, now we've got the Invasion of Time. This is an underrated story, but I think it's quite good. It's not the best, but I hate the Sontarans in it. I just don't like their design. I mean, their performance in it is quite good. I mean, look how stupid that Sontaran looks. I hate it. It just looks stupid. But as for the story, it's okay. It does get a bit slow because it is 6 parts long, and the Time Lords are in it. It's set on Gallifrey. It's a good story. I enjoy it. Like I said, it's quite an underrated story. But if you want to watch it, go ahead. Or probably best to watch it on Dailymotion first, because you know it is one of those stories. And now we move on to the Key to Time season with the Reboss Operation. I'm not a particular big fan of the Key to Time season. I know a lot of people are, but it's an okay story. It's historical, and it's got Romana 1 in it. That's played by Mary Tan. I think I prefer Lila Ward as Romana, but yes, it's a good story. You probably might want to buy the Key to Time set, but yeah, it's okay. Moving on, the second part of the Key to Time season, story 2, we have got the Pirate Planet. It's written by Douglas Adams, who wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy novel series. I haven't read any of those, but my friend has. But I don't like the story. It's just, I don't know how long it is. I can't really remember too much about it. But it's 4 parts. But I don't really enjoy the story. I just don't like. I don't think it's any good at all. But it's alright. And the third part of the the key to time season is the Stones of Blood. I believe this is quite a popular story. It is a good story. It's quite dark and quite mythical, and it is a good story. Don't get me wrong. It's quite one of the more popular stories out the Key to Time season, I believe. But it's a good story. I can't really say many two things about it, but I have reviewed the Key to Time box set. If you want to check my full thoughts on the set, just watch it and tell me what you think. Okay, after that we've got the fourth part, which is the android Zatara. Another historical story, because there are 2 historical ones and 3 futuristic ones, I think, in the Key to Time season. But this is quite good. It's got lots of kings and queens, and it's quite political as well. But it's quite a good story. I quite enjoyed this. But yeah, just go and watch it. It's quite an interesting story, really. Okay, moving on. My favourite part of the Key to Time season. I know it's not a lot of people's favourites, but I love it. I think it's just so good. The Power of Kroll. I love this story. It's just really good. It's underrated, but it's unfortunate how underrated it is. I think it's brilliant. This was written by Robert Holmes. Oh, hold on a second, I've just got a message. So The Power of Kroll is a brilliant story, and you should really check it out. I'm not sure if you like it, but I love it. And now the final part of the Key to Time season is the Armageddon Factor. I was really enjoying the story until I watched the end, because it's a bit disappointing, really. I was really looking forward to this, but it was very disappointing. Probably the least part, probably my least favourite part of the Key to Time season. It's just not a very good end to it. There are some few good scenes, but you know, it's not the best. And after that we've got Destiny of the Daleks, my least favourite Dalek story. It's crap. The plot is crap. Davros in it, well, played by David Goodison. He's okay in it. He's not the best. I don't like the story all that much. I think a lot of people do, but I don't. It's just nothing really happens in it all that much. I just don't like the story. Not sure why the Daleks came back in the Tom Baker era. Well, for the second time. I mean, they were good in Genesis of the Daleks, but I like how they had like detonators around them. Is the camera? I think the camera's going all a bit worry. So apologies if that does happen. And it's 33 minutes, so that's quite long. But yeah, this is a very good story. But not very good at all. I just said it's very good, but it's not. I know that doesn't make sense, but I better move on because I don't want to say too much about it. Next up, we've got a very good Tom Baker story, one that was actually never broadcasted, and it's Sharda. I've got to change the BBC logo on that. I forgot to take it off, but it's a very good. It's a 6-part serial. There's linking narration from Tom Baker, and he does a good job of it. This is the second story written by Douglas Adams, probably his best story that he's written, because it's just brilliant. It was never finished, which is really unfortunate because they cancelled it. And there was a Paul McGann webcast version of this, but it took him about 4 regenerations to do that. Which I'm not sure why it took them that long to do it, but maybe they could have done it with the 6th Doctor. I don't know, but yeah, this is a good story, very good story. I love the location filming in this. It's just they're just really good location scenes, and the special features are very good in it. Okay, and my penultimate Tom Baker DVD is, and the penultimate Tom Baker story is To Keep Up with Traken. Very good story. I know a lot of people like this one. I like the New Beginnings box set. I think it's quite a good set. I recently got it this year, a few months ago, in June. But this is a good story. It's a bit sad how Nyssa's father gets overtaken by the Master. Spoiler. But yeah, sorry about that. I mean, even this Daleks, Anthony Ainley, in an old man's costume, you can just tell it's him. But obviously, whilst watching this story, during the time it was broadcast, you wouldn't know that was going to be the Master. But it's a very interesting story. I think you should buy it as your next. Well, you should get the beginning box, the New Beginnings box set. It's a very good set with very good artwork. And finally, to conclude this bloody 36 minutes video, we have the Gopolis. Not people like this one. I think it's quite good. It's okay. It's not the best regeneration story, but it's a good story. I love the regeneration effects. With the Watcher taking over Tom Baker's body and then finally regenerating into Peter Davison. Just a great regeneration scene, one of my favourites, and it's just a fairly enjoyable story. I quite enjoyed it. So that pretty much concludes my review of the 70s era, well, of the DVDs that I've got of the 70s era, because I don't have all of them, and if it did, this video would be twice the length, because it is now 37 minutes, and I'd better stop here. So, thank you for watching this video. Tell me what you think of my collection. If you like it, press the like bell, and just give me your thoughts, and I probably shall see you for... I'm actually thinking about reviewing Father Ted box set, series 1 to 3, because I've been recently watching it and it's just hilarious, so I might review that. But if you want me to review it, just comment down below. But if no one wants me to review it, I'll probably review it anyway. But so thank you for watching this video, and I shall see you very soon.